Well, as interest rates remain stubbornly high, y'all, I get a lot of questions around what can we do to improve our interest rate? Do we buy points? Do we get seller concessions in order to buy points? Folks are aggressively shopping to make sure they're running with lenders that are giving them the best possible pricing on any given day. They're coupling themselves with lenders that aggressively watch the market to look for the best time to time a lock. And we have talked a lot about all of those things, y'all. But the one thing that we don't talk enough about is what provides the biggest bang for the buck by far, as far as saving you money on the amount of interest that you pay, is looking at a shorter term mortgage versus a 30-year fixed. So we're going to get right into some of the numbers, y'all, and I'm going to use the national averages for today. Today is the 20th of August, 2026, and Mortgage News Daily published 30-year fixed rate conforming loans at 6.76 and 15-year conforming loans at 6.30. So I'm going to take just those two national averages and run some math. So I'm going to put some numbers up on the screen and let y'all guess for me. The monthly payment on a 30-year fixed rate $400,000 mortgage at 6.76, today's national average, is $2,597, y'all. $2,597. What does that payment need to be in order to pay this house off in 15 years? So I'm going to throw out some guesses here. If you think it's $5,200, and we're going to have to double it up, that's option A. If you think it's $4,500, put that in option B. That's option B. Again, we've got a little bit of rate savings here, so you would expect it to not be a full double, right? Or is it C, $3,400? If you're guessing ahead, C is the right one. You only have to add $843 to that monthly payment in order to pay this house off in 15 years. Y'all, the payment goes at 6.3%. It's $3,440.60 a month for a $400,000 loan in 15 years. That's a dramatic savings in interest, y'all, without a huge additional investment towards your monthly payment. Now, I want to look at something that folks don't often explain. You've now made a payment for 15 years of $3,440, and your house is now paid off, right? Just incidentally, that saves you $315,000 in interest over the life of that loan. That's how much interest is saved. That is actually more than the total cost of interest that you're going to pay in total on a 15-year. You're only going to pay $219,300 in interest on that 15-year. You're going to pay $535,000 in interest on the 30-year. It's $315,000 difference, y'all. That is money that you can be investing elsewhere. But it's more than just having that $315,000 in interest that you didn't spend to invest. You've spent 15 years making a payment of $3,440, and now you don't have it anymore. What are you going to do with that additional money now? Because if you then, at month number 181, decide you're going to call up your broker and say, look, I want to find a relatively safe rate of return. Find me a 7% rate of return. With a number of different index funds, you're going to easily match that if you look at the last 10 years, y'all. There's a lot of opportunities to make 7% in the marketplace. Work out a good plan with your financial planner. I'm not a financial planner. Talk to them about a 7% rate of return, see if they can do something safely for you, where you're going to give them $3,440 every month. You do that for 15 years, y'all. How much do you think that's worth at the end of 15 years? Is it A, $400,000? Remember, we're just reinvesting what that 15-year payment was at a rate that's not much higher, a rate of return that's not much higher than the mortgage on it. So that kind of makes sense. We were financing $400,000 for that. So is it option A, $400,000? Is it option B, $619,000? Well, that's the amount that in total that you would have paid into it, right? Or is it $1.1 million? Well, y'all, it's actually $1,090,540 is what a $3,440 payment is worth 15 years from now if you get a 7% annualized rate of return on it. Y'all, that more than pays for the house. That 2.5 times pays for your house. So when we look at the long term, and I'm getting to be kind of an old man at this point, I'm looking down the road at decisions I could have made 20 years ago that would have made a dramatic difference in my life today. And I'm trying to convince my kids of those exact things. And y'all, the acceleration aspect of what good investment planning can do for your money is phenomenal, right? I want folks, I make a living by giving folks debt, but I want that debt to be structured in such a way that it puts them in a much better financial position down the road. 15-year mortgage, if you can swing it, y'all. Even if you wind up looking at a house that might be 20% less as expensive so that you can handle the monthly payment associated with 15-year, it could pay huge dividends down the road. So just something to ponder, y'all. Money is an interesting thing, and the velocity of money is an amazing thing when you get into some of the calculations that I've run. I'm happy to look at a number of these different scenarios, folks. Feel free to give me a call anytime. Stay blessed, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.